Welcome to Science by PK. Today we're talking about one of the most debated topics in astronomy, Pluto. For decades, Pluto was celebrated as the ninth planet in our solar system, but everything changed in 2006. Why isn't Pluto a planet anymore? What happened, and what makes a planet? Let's dive into the fascinating story of Pluto. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Science by PK, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on a science deep dive. First, let's go back in time. Pluto was discovered in 1930 by an astronomer named Tombaugh. It was small, icy, and far away, but it still earned its name as the ninth planet in our solar system. For more than 70 years, Pluto was a part of every school textbook. It may have been the smallest and most distant planet, but it was special. Kids and adults loved Pluto. Some people even called it the underdog of the solar system. Then in 2006, everything changed. The International Astronomical Union, IAU, introduced the new definition for what it means to be a planet. This new definition had three key things. First, the object must orbit the sun. Second, it must be big enough for its gravity to pull it into a round shape. And third, it must clear its orbit, meaning it needs to be the dominant object in its neighborhood. Pluto passed the first of the rules, and it orbits the sun and it's round, but it failed the third. Pluto shares the orbit with other icy objects in a region called the Kuiper Belt. Because it doesn't dominate its area, the IAU classified Pluto as a dwarf planet. This reclassification sparked a lot of debate. Some scientists and space enthusiasts argue that Pluto should still be a planet because it had been one for such a long time. Others said the new definition was one step forward for science because it helped us better understand the diversity for objects in the solar system. The decision wasn't about disrespecting Pluto. It was about creating clearness as we know more about space. So what is Pluto like as a dwarf planet? Pluto is fascinating. It's about 1,400 miles wide, making it smaller than Earth's moon. It's so far from the sun that it takes 248 Earth years to complete one orbit. Pluto's surface is covered in ice, mountains, and plains, and it even has a thin atmosphere made up of nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. One of the coolest things about Pluto is its moon, Charon. Charon is so large compared to Pluto that they orbit each other, almost like a double dwarf planet system. NASA's New Horizons mission, which flew by Pluto in 2015, gave us our first detailed images of this distant world, and they were stunning. Now let's talk about why this matters. Pluto may not be a planet anymore, but that doesn't make it less important. Reclassifying Pluto as a dwarf planet helped astronomers better understand the Kuiper Belt, a region beyond Neptune filled with icy objects, comets, and other dwarf planets. This new definition also helps us think about how we define planets on a universal scale. If we found a similar object around another star, would we call it a planet? Questions like these are why science is so interesting. And Pluto isn't alone. Other dwarf planets like Eris, Hamonala, and Makemake have been discovered in the Kuiper Belt. These discoveries show us that the solar system is much more complex and diverse than we thought. And while Pluto may have lost its planet status, it gained new identity as a trailblazer of the dwarf planet category. So why isn't Pluto a planet anymore? The answer lies on how we define and organize the objects in our solar system. Science is about learning and evolving, and as we discover more about the universe, our definitions and categories need to evolve too. Pluto is still a fascinating and important part of our solar system, and it's just in a new category now. And that's it for today's episode of Science by PK. What do you think we should call Pluto? Is it a planet or is it a dwarf planet? Let us know in the comments below, but don't forget to like, subscribe to Science by PK, and we'll see you in the next one.